Hey you. Yeah, you. Love the show and want more content? Want to be part of some of our hilarious adventures? Ever wish you could be part of the squad and team up with us in our fight to save the galaxy? Well, now you can. Head over to multiplayersquad.com and check out some of the awesome benefits we offer to our official squad mates. We offer a ton of extra ways you can interact with us and the show. We certainly aren't above bribery to earn your support, but we think you'll love all the extras that come with supporting this independent podcast. Thank you for listening and supporting the show. Now on to what's sure to be our greatest episode ever.
Hello, squad mates, and happy Thursday. Welcome to the Multiplayer Gaming Podcast. We are a family-friendly podcast of dads who love to game and talk about gaming. If you've been with us for a while, then you probably already know, but on Thursdays, we release what we like to call This Week in Gaming. And sometimes in these episodes, we talk about news in gaming that occurred in the last week. Sometimes we talk about what games we've been playing this week. Who knows? And if you don't like the current topic, then feel free to smash that 30-second skip button a couple times, and you can go ahead and find something that you do like. My name is Paul, and I am joined here by my two better halves. Guys, don't check the math on that. I promise it all adds up. But virtually to my right, I have the battling Beastmaster of Battlegrounds, Todd.
What you talking about, Willis? I got nervous and panicked.
Todd's been winning games lately in Battlegrounds, and I see he's been playing a lot of Beasts lately, so I thought I'd pull that out.
Yeah, I like Beasts. I mean, I tried dragons, they didn't work for me. I tried mechs, and they don't have a lot of health, or maybe I'm just not playing them right.
Sure.
But I get Beasts. You just put a hyena, and then you spawn as many of them as you can. It's very easy.
That's definitely a solid strategy. And then virtually on my left, the disappointing donkey of disgrace, Josh.
What? It's all right. This is a bit of jealousy coming out here because of what I did to Paul in Battlegrounds earlier today.
It's true. There will be a story coming later that I will let Josh tell. And obviously, we're just kidding. All right. We all know Josh is everyone's favorite. You guys keep writing us reviews about the show, telling us that Josh is the GOAT. All right, so
you know who you are. You know who you are, and your review will get read on the next episode. I'm just saying that. So, congratulations.
Yeah, that review will get read in our next episode. But guys, look, the only currency that Josh knows how to deal in is trolling. So he dishes it out a lot, and we have to keep everything in balance as it should be. So we have to dish it back. So. Anyway,
I'd expect no less. If you guys didn't pick on me, I'd think you're mad at me. Right. Like that's where I'd be like, guys, what's wrong?
You haven't called me a name in 2 days.
I know. Did I do something? I'm sorry, guys.
Todd's got one of those chalkboards. It's been 2 days since Josh last trolled me. All right, so before hopping into our first topic in this episode, we do have a little bit of housekeeping to go over regarding the podcast, and I'm really excited to talk about this. So, we love releasing 2 episodes for you guys every single week, and while we have been able to invade your ear space, we have not had the time or the ability to also invade your eyeballs. So, yes, I'm going... I fully back up the way I worded it there. We do want to invade your eyeballs. Now, we do want to continue delivering as much quality content as we can. And so we want that to be not just the audio podcast, but also releasing high quality videos to you guys. And the thing is that Todd has a ton of experience in video editing.
I am college educated in video editing. I don't know if that's good or bad.
Todd is secretly an eyeball Viking. Mm-hmm. He is there to invade eyeballs, and he is quite good at it.
Yeah. Todd Leaf is what we call him behind his back, because he is the eyeball Viking.
Just wait. So we're doing this because I get video editing. I thought I was just the best looking of the group.
Well, Todd is definitely the most camera ready. I am willing to concede that to Todd.
I initially was going to protest, and then I was like, I really can't. So yes, you are correct.
So yes, Todd is the handsome one. And the problem is that if Todd's recording with us 2 nights a week and hosting, there's just not enough time for Todd to be able to work on the video. So Todd's going to be taking a little bit of a step back in regards to the audio podcast. He will still be joining us from time to time, but he is going to start putting some time and effort into the video side of things. So Todd, do you want to tell the people a little bit what you have in store for them?
Yeah. So I'm starting the single player YouTube channel. No, I'm just kidding. So yeah, it's basically multiplayer podcast except video format. And because of that, some things have to change. But there are some like exciting things we can do now that we have video. And I plan on doing a lot of like hardware reviews or just kind of shorter, more compact game reviews that can include gameplay footage, which will be super exciting. And then, of course, we're all goofy. This podcast is very goofy. There's going to be a lot of goofy videos. Like we were just talking about, we just released an episode that is games you want your enemy to play or would make them play. Guess what? We're going to be releasing videos of us playing those terrible games and making fun of each other as we play them. And like that's the great content we get to release when like I don't know, would put me on video. I'm ready.
I immediately regret giving you so many good suggestions for terrible games that now you're going to make us play them, Todd. So
yes, all
I
of
feel
them.
a little conflicted now.
It's going to be a 24-hour quapathon.
Oh my goodness.
I'm already losing sleep just thinking about it.
Yeah, I'm super hyped for this, honestly. Like, we have been growing like crazy. I mean, the response from the listeners in the community has been just absolutely phenomenal. And I mean, part of that growth is we want to bring you guys as much awesome content as we can. And, you know, we've gotten a lot of really, really great feedback about the podcast, but we want to grow and we want to bring more to everybody, and focusing on the video side and being able to branch out to that, because Todd has so much expertise in that area, is just, it's a natural progression. And so we're really excited about it. I mean, I can't wait to see what happens, you know, in the future, because it's been awesome already. And this is just one of those things where it's like, I can't wait for the listeners and now the watchers to be able to, you know, see this stuff and be able to interact with us there as well.
Yeah, exactly. I think it'll be a ton of fun. And how many times have we been gaming and we've said things like, man, I really wish that we had recorded that, and that way we'd be able to upload it. And so now that it'll actually be a priority to release video content, I'm very excited. So for all of you listeners out there, if you do not already subscribe to us on YouTube, definitely go do that now. That way, once Todd starts releasing some of that content, you'll get notified right away. So you can find us on YouTube. I believe the channel is Multiplayer Podcast, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so go subscribe, and I think you have to click the bell, turn on notifications, you know, go smash that subscribe and bell on YouTube.
Have to say that every video? Just smash that subscribe button. Is that what that's what you have to do, right?
Just lightly tap the subscribe button.
Gently.
Yes.
Don't break it.
Don't abuse that Razer mouse. It's not going to last long enough.
It'll start double clicking in no time.
All right. So moving into our first topic here, guys, I think this is the first time that we've needed to really do this. We have to kind of like print a little bit of a retraction about our Hearthstone episode.
It's a day in history. January 24, whatever Thursday is, 20 something. January 28th.
Real accurate.
Yeah.
We're going to have a retraction about our retraction.
One of those days in January.
Yes, today is Thursday, January 28th. Guys, you can queue for groups in Hearthstone Battlegrounds. How did we not know this?
I don't know.
I think because we thought it was like it's OP to be able to play like with a teammate and be like, oh, I'm going dragons, you go beasts, or something like that, maybe? I don't know, but there is a way to do it.
Yeah.
And we figured it out.
And it's fun.
Is a ton of fun. And apparently this has been out since like September. I think it might have been me. I just posted kind of on a whim in Discord. Man, I really wish that you could just queue as a group in Battlegrounds, because a whole bunch of us were playing at the same time. And our buddy Shane, who's the biggest Hearthstone fan, he's like, yeah, guys, you just have to party up inside the game and you can queue for Battlegrounds. So we've been playing a bit lately. Todd, you and I paired up for a few games along with our friend Brandon. What did you think of the group queue system?
Well, one, super easy. And that's like the biggest thing with playing multiplayer. If it's hard to get in a group, I'm just not. And especially with a game like this where you might only play 1 or 2 rounds. But it was super easy to team up and just jump into a game. And it was so much fun because like everyone's talking through their strategy, what hero they got, like what's going on. And then I outlasted both of you guys, both of the rounds we played. So it felt
nice.
good where like you guys were watching me and giving me tips, which was super helpful where you're like, oh, no, you need to play that minion. Like that'll help you do this. And like, I don't know, it made my Battleground game just a little bit better.
Yeah, Paul, you and I played earlier today, and that was my first time playing multiplayer, and I did terrible the first game we played. I think I was like 8th in that game. And then we played again, and
I'm still mad.
How'd that go, Paul? I mean, your intro for the show, was a little bit of a...
So here's the thing. I was already salty from our first game because Josh got eliminated first, and then he's spectating me, and then Josh is like, oh no, this is the guy who eliminated me. He hit me for like 38 points, so you better watch out. And I'm like, nah, my team's good. And I was first at the time in Battlegrounds. The guy ended up smashing me for 30 or something like that and eliminated me.
He one-shotted you.
Literally went from 1st to 7th in that round. So I was already a little salty. We hop into the next match. Josh and I are talking, but we have not faced each other. And so we're just narrating, and I'm feeling pretty good about my build, actually. I've got a really nice dragon board going. I get my Razor Gore. Josh is over here just complaining left and right about his mech build.
It was terrible.
Like, oh, this is awful.
It was. Yeah. It was. I had nothing but low power mechs, but the funny part about it is that every single one of them had a death rattle. And I had 2 of the Khadgar guys, which make you summon 2. So for every guy that died, I was summoning 4 minions. And you got so unlucky, Paul, number 1, because the order of attack just played in perfectly. Long story short, I bumped Paul out of that game completely.
But here's how it happened is it actually looked like I was going to win in the first half because I'm just killing everything that Josh has popping out. Then I kill I think it was his second to last guy. And then they burst into 4 Alystra the Immortals, which is the 6th tier person that has Divine Shield and Reborn. Yeah. So I was like, oh, I'm just going to get nickel and dime to death here with my last like 2 or 3 minions. And that's exactly what happened. And then all of Josh's guys left, all were tier 6. So I ended up having just completely knocked out at that point. But then Josh did end up winning the entire Battleground.
And I will say this, it's exactly like Todd said, having a friend that is spectating you that can help you, because in the later rounds, you have to really like buy and sell quickly and kind of like, put together the synergy really fast in the time frame allowed. And so having Paul be like, sell your mech and buy that guy, that's like the best strategy for this round was very helpful at the same time. So it was really cool. I thought, number 1, I mean, knocking your friends out of the tournament feels great. And then number 2, having those same friends to come back and help you win, feels even better. So
don't do it again or Paul's going to sabotage you.
Yeah.
Like, that level 1 Murloc, it's really good with a mech build. Trust me.
Yep. So, yes, it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed the aspect of being able to talk during the game. I think that's one of the things I don't like about Hearthstone is I'm just kind of playing silently by myself, or maybe I'll put on a movie on my second monitor. But being able to talk, and even when we had a group on with me, Brandon, and Todd, we were able to do some trash talking. And I think if you had like a good group of 5 or 6 people where you're just constantly talking and then also spectating and coaching, I think it really adds a new element. I kind of feel like it's a little bit of a game changer. I hope we end up doing more Battlegrounds in our group of friends.
I have one complaint. Our second game we played, I said, guys, I'm picking this hero. Don't go Beast. I'm only going Beast the entire time. Then both Brandon and Paul go Beast. And it's like, come on,
both
guys.
went Beast.
All three of us are. This is chaos.
Though, because leaving you all the Beasts is not a good idea.
It could be. It is for me.
Yeah, I wasn't going to let you have all those beasts to yourself. Actually, I was not planning on trolling you that way. I just happened to get good beasts. It was not personal, but it was very funny that all of us ended up with a beast build. And we probably hurt ourselves in the process, but yeah, what are you going to do? So, we don't need to spend any more time on Hearthstone except to say there was also a really big patch that came out this week. So they actually brought in 2 new heroes to Battlegrounds, Ticketus and Greybow. And they added some new minions. It's new free content, what's not to enjoy. So if you haven't checked out Hearthstone Battlegrounds, I know all 3 of us highly recommend it. And also, if you join us as a Patreon supporter and you get access to our Discord server, maybe you can come queue with us, because I think we'll be knocking out some Hearthstone here in the next few weeks.
So many people from the Discord were like, hey, I just listened to your Hearthstone episode. I gave it a shot. I love it. Like, either they haven't played in years or they've never played, and they were like, I didn't think I was into this kind of game. And then it's just awesome to see people be like, yeah, this game's super fun. So, yeah, definitely give it a try. Join multiplayersquad.com. Come join us over on Discord. It's awesome.
Yeah, we would love to have you there, and we can play some Battlegrounds together. All right, and then I see here in our shared Google Doc that we have a news story here to talk about related to Xbox. Todd, I'm guessing this was you who submitted the story here?
It wasn't me who submitted the story.
This was Josh?
It was me.
Josh volunteered to talk about Xbox?
Because I mean, it was a good story. Xbox raised the price for the Xbox Live Gold.
Which was a good move on their part. They should have.
Yeah, they should have, but then they caught a ton of backlash from it. Apparently that $1 on the lower tier and the $5 on, the middle tier. And then I think the yearly went up like $20, which is, that's a decent hike. But man, video gamers, when we come together, we get stuff done. And the Xbox community got really riled up by it. And then Xbox went, we're sorry. And then they apologized in kind of a cool way. In what way was that, Todd?
So they took back the dollar. So they lowered it back to the original price, which is like, that would have made people go, thank you for listening to the community. Like, you're not power hungry or money hungry or whatever. Thank you for listening to us. And then they went beyond that. And now games that are free to play, you can play online with those games. So games like Rocket League, Apex, Warzone, these huge free-to-play games, you don't need Xbox Live Gold anymore, which they're probably going to lose a ton of people, because I know a ton of people that pretty much only play free-to-play games because those are some of the best games out there.
So the pricing stayed exactly the same, but now you can also play for free if it's free-to-play games?
Yes.
This sounds like a win for the working man, I gotta say.
And guys, I know we make fun of Halo. Well, I know you guys make fun of Halo. I know, I'm the only one with an Xbox here, but Xbox and Microsoft get it. They're not bickering with their customer base. They listen to them. The Xbox Game Pass is still incredible. And it's going to be great for the next year with a new Forza game, a new Fable game, a new Halo Infinity game. All of those are going to be free on the Xbox Game Pass. I don't know. Xbox gets it.
Yeah. The question though, if Xbox and Microsoft get it, then Microsoft, you can play any game online for free because you don't have to pay for a service to play multiplayer games. But yet Xbox, you do. So why would they do that to only a certain percentage of the players, whereas on the PC side, they're like, you guys get to play for free?
I think the game developer is responsible for the servers on PC. I don't think they are as much on console.
Dang it, that's too good of an answer, Todd.
Boom.
Is that really true?
I don't know.
didn't know that, but I was like,
we'll have to do a correction next week, but it's good for now.
Yeah. I think Josh just expected Todd to just fold and say, "You got me. I got no answer."
Yeah, I did. And then you came up with this great answer, and I was like, that really makes a lot of sense, because if Xbox
Renounce
is
Xbox now,
paying
Todd.
for the servers, then, well, okay.
All right. Now, this does not affect the Game Pass at all, right? This is just Xbox Live, which gives you online access. The Game Pass is still completely separate and unaffected.
Yeah. So,
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the price change was like $10 to $11 or something like that. And Xbox Game Pass is $15. Like, just for $5 more, it's worth it to get all those free games.
Yeah, I was actually reading, there was, on one of the articles I read about this price increase, was that they were actually trying to drive more people towards the Game Pass. Like, people are saying, we think this is like the reasoning behind it. Mm-hmm. So, because if we raise the price for Xbox Live Gold, more people will then go towards the Game Pass, which, I mean, I guess makes some sense. But then what happens if you want to play those games online?
What? No, Xbox Game Pass includes Xbox Live Gold.
Oh, it does. That's right.
Yeah.
I remember when we signed up for that for $1, it was both.
To play Sea of Thieves. And we overpaid.
No, come on.
I actually did not send it to you guys, but I saw an article that talked about how Sea of Thieves and No Man's Sky are the greatest comebacks in gaming history. And you guys know how much I loved No Man's Sky. And I said, I should send this to them so we can hop back into Sea of Thieves. And I was like, what am I saying? I don't want to go back to Sea of Thieves. But yeah, that was great on the $1 Game Pass.
Well, you know how we mentioned games, really bad games to torture people with coming up. We'll make Paul play Sea of Thieves for 8 hours straight.
Yeah.
That would do it. That would do it.
For a transatlantic journey, you have to manage a boat.
Well, you guys yell at me that I'm not adjusting the sails enough, even though I am. That sounds,
faster, Paul. Faster.
To the wind.
Oh, goodness. All right. So, moving on, getting past Sea of Thieves.
Look, Paul's already bored.
Yeah. I don't even want to talk about Sea of Thieves. I'm the one who brought it up. It's no one's fault but mine. So, the last thing I wanted to talk about is something that I ran across this week, and it was a trailer for an upcoming Steam release called 911 Operator Interactive Movie. And I sent you guys the link, and I'm just going to toss it out there. What did you guys think?
Too intense.
My first thought was, do I have to choose between these emergencies? Like, that was what because I thought it was a game. Like, I thought it was, because it to me, it looked like a choose your own adventure, but like with movie, like snippets,
Right.
like live action movie snippets. So I was like, oh, this is a game. And then the trailer that you sent, the guy has like 3 different 911 calls come in. And then I was like, oh, do I have to choose like who gets saved? Because I was like, that was a hard choice, man. And then I guess it's not quite that way, at least not that I know of anyway.
Yeah, it's basically like a choose your own adventure, but with video. So it's an interactive movie. I think the first thing I thought of in seeing it is that it's basically the same as like Black Mirror Bandersnatch on Netflix. It's very similar. So you are a 911 operator, calls are coming in, and then it's all filmed with actors. So you get to see the guy take the phone call, and then you have choices of what you want that 911 operator to do. And like Todd said, it's a very intense trailer. Like, was there anything in particular that stood out? Was it the first girl calling in about her mom being murdered by her dad? Because that's how it starts.
It starts with the low point, just the lowest of low points. And I don't know, but like, I don't get what are the decisions? Like, I'm going to choose to help them every time. You're a 911 operator. Like, I'm going to call the police.
But what if you had to choose who to save? That's what I was saying.
What if there's only one officer to dispatch in the area, Todd, and you're going to have to make decisions?
Hang up the phone.
Yeah.
Todd just quits.
Quit your job.
Quit.
Take your ball and go home.
Yeah, this job isn't worth it. I'm being paid minimum. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. Okay, so here's what the YouTube video description says. 911 Operator Interactive Movie is a feature-length interactive film in which the player takes the role of an emergency line operator. Many lives are at stake based on your decisions. Now, I know that we have all talked about how when we play video games, we are always the good, moral person on the first playthrough. But are you guys going to intentionally screw up every 911 call just for the lols?
I can't, man. I told you, I have a hard time. As much as I like trolling people, I have a hard time being like the bad guy in video games. So I will, hands down, I will play this movie like the best way that I know how, because I would want to see what happens with the decisions that I would make naturally. And then the second time around, sure, like everything's fair game at that point.
I wonder if they're going to do something like the trolley problem, where like you have to make a decision to like kind of sacrifice someone to save a ton of people, and then like just see how many people choose what. And then we might have an answer to like what a normal person would do for the trolley problem.
I'm sure that's exactly what this will be like, where you have to choose to send an officer to one place or another, because I did not know this, but this interactive movie is actually based on a pre-existing gaming series called 911 Operator. Did you guys know this was a series of games out there?
Never heard of that. Like an actual game?
An actual game.
Yeah, it was one of those things where I've seen it on Steam every now and then. It'll be on sale, and then I'm just like, no, this is too deep into Steam for me to actually buy.
Right. So after watching this trailer, I went and I pulled it up on Steam, and it's kind of a pricey game. And so I'm not going to name names here, but I did find a Steam key for $1.79 on a third-party site. And so I said, you know what? I'm going to pick this up just so I can talk about it here on the pod. So the funniest thing about this game is when you load up 911 Operator, it knows it's the first time, and it starts walking you through 911 procedure. So I'm thinking, oh, this is like a tutorial for the game, right? They're like, whenever you call 911, make sure to give them the location first. And I'm like, oh, okay, the game's teaching me, like, now that I'm a 911 operator, I'm going to ask them for the location. I go through like 13 screens and it's still giving me pointers. And all of a sudden I'm reading procedure for tornado survival. And then all of a sudden I realize this is just a PSA. When you start the game, this has nothing to do with the game. I don't need to know tornado survival. And then finally I keep clicking. There's 30 screens. Like, I spent 20 minutes reading all these tips about emergency survival, and it's just purely a PSA.
Good for them.
But you're prepared now, Paul. Now you're prepared.
All those tornadoes in Phoenix,
I know.
Right?
Hey, the next time something bad is about to happen, I'm calling you. And I'll be like, you're an expert now, Paul. What do I do?
Yep.
What do I do?
I'm in Oklahoma and I need help, Paul.
Don't call me. Call 911. But basically in the game, it's kind of like what you guys might imagine. You're a 911 operator. You only have a certain number of fire trucks, ambulances, and police vehicles. And you start getting several calls and several emergencies, and you have to start divvying out who goes where. And then all of a sudden your police officers are being shot at, so they need backup. But if you don't get backup there quick enough, now you have to send an ambulance to take care of your police officers. And so I can see why they would think, let's instead make this into an interactive movie. We'll be able to see those things play out, because 911 Operator is a simulator. You don't actually see footage of these incidents. So it's kind of like taking this the next step and letting you watch it all.
I'm kind of reserved on judgment. I'm glad you picked it up, because I do like those different kind of genres, but I'm not sure this one is in my wheelhouse either.
And I think the what platform you're playing it on matters. Like, I could see this playing on Xbox, sitting back on the couch, kicking up my feet. Even if it was on Netflix, like where you could, click what option you wanted to choose. But like it being on PC and by myself, like not going through it with my wife or something like that, like, I don't know. I'm not going to get it. I'll ask you questions about it. Like, it's interesting, but it's just like I don't see myself sitting down for 3 hours and just going through this. Like, I would rather play Rust.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, my playthrough is not going to be 3 hours because I'm just going to hang up every phone call and call it a
Wrong
day
number.
early. Yeah.
912. Can I help you?
Information.
All right. Well, yeah, if this game is like $20 or more, there's no way I'm picking it up. I just thought it was too silly. I had to send it to you guys. It seemed like something we would talk about.
That trailer's
but
intense.
It really is.
It's a
Watch
very
the trailer.
intense trailer.
It's a good trailer.
The trailer is well done.
Yeah.
Yeah, go check it out. 911 Operator interactive movie. It's a wieldy title of a game also. All right. Well, that wraps up our show for you guys here today. Thanks so much for joining us, chatting about This Week in Gaming. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, leave us a review, tell someone else about the show. Get them to come join us also. We hope that you guys will join us on Monday when we will be revisiting an old game.
Oh.
Guys, we've covered 36 games so far, and for the first time, we're going to be diving back into an old one.
We're rusty on a couple games, you know?
Yeah.
We're very rusty on a couple games. That's a great way to word it.
Oh, we got some great news stories.
We do have some great stories, so we're going to be scrubbing off all that old rust, and then we'll be coming back with a mystery game on Monday. See if you guys can crack the code.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if you'd like to support the show, please visit us at multiplayersquad.com and become a Patreon supporter. It'll help keep the podcast running, and you'll also get access to our Discord like we talked about earlier, so you can come chat and game with Todd, Josh, and me. You can also check us out on socials. You can find us everywhere as Multiplayer Pod, and you can find us on YouTube under Multiplayer Podcast. So, guys, I just watched Terminator 2 yesterday, so I'll just leave you all with an hasta la vista, baby.
Dude, that's one of the few movies that I cried at. No lie.
Really?
Terminator
no
2?
exaggeration. Dude,
Was it at the
Terminator
thumbs
2,
up
dude,
at
at
the
the end, I'm not kidding, man. Tears down my face, and I tried to choke him back.
Really?
Yeah, really.
He was John's father figure.
It
So
was
I get
really
it.
sad, man.
I'll see you guys later. I'm going to go watch T3 Rise of the Machines.
See you, everybody.
Bye.